The power of listening. It's interesting because as a professional speaker and teacher, I get paid to speak my mind. What I've noticed the trend the last 2 years, which I think is very relevant for everybody watching this, is that the power of listening is a lost art. So I want to dig into the new book, Don't Quit, Do It, which this podcast and episode of YouTube and the entire name is built on the premise of Don't Quit, Do It, this book. I want to go into chapter 4 out of the 50 lessons, and the chapter is called specifically Listen Well. So the goal of this episode, and again, like and subscribe, give us your comments below. We'd love to have feedback on this, is how do we talk about the lost art of listening and why it is so valuable? I talk about mind capture a lot in episodes. How do you stand out and get attention? To me, the best listeners in the world get things done you can't imagine because they're paying attention. So let me start with a quote directly out of Don't Quit, Do It from this chapter on listening. Jim George said this: listening is an act of love. When you listen to people, you are communicating non-verbally that they are important to you. Wow, what a novel concept, listening. Because what is online where you're watching this? YouTube, it's built on conversations, learning, knowledge. You jump over to social media on your phone, what's it built on? Look at me, look at me, look at me, get attention. Most people aren't paying any bit of attention. So I want to be the rebel or the hope dealer. And we'll talk about hope dealer in a future episode as well. Where does this come from and why to me is hope so important? Because some people say hope's not important. I'm like, oh, no. We're going to do an entire episode on the power of hope, okay? But back to this. Listening is one of those things that we're usually never taught. I went to university and I went to a very good Catholic school in my younger years, a public high school, so I had the best of both worlds, but we were never taught listening 101. I've had a few friends over the years that are in the professional speaking circuit that have written books on listening. One is Greg Bauer, a friend of mine here in West Michigan. He used to teach listening. So some of this is drawn from Greg's influence. Some of it's drawn from sales career that I've done the last 25 plus years, from other people that have taught me, other salespeople, other great mentors and books on wisdom. And then my version or spin on it is where I'm going to talk about in this episode. So I want to talk about why listening is so important. In an age of 8-second attention spans, yes, that's about what we're down to based on the latest Microsoft data and research, is that if you can get people to listen, you have a great ability to not only as you're communicating, have them retain, to buy your ideas, but in this episode, I talk about why you should listen more effectively. It can totally help your entire life, from your family to your volunteer work, to leading an organization, to your job, to running an enterprise. Whatever life throws you, listening to me helps in all facets. And again, no one's really ever taught us this. So I want to put my prescription in here on the great, I would say, ether here of the internet. And it's now archived for all time. Why listening is so effective, but a few ways to do it better. So here we go. The best listening to me is built on homework. It's asking great questions. So if you're in a conversation at a coffee shop here, we have a coffee shop right below the studio here where we're filming. There are conversations going on by the hundreds of them right now. And anywhere across the world, there are millions per second conversations in just coffee shops. What's fascinating, if you could sneak up and watch somebody's conversation, if it's two people one-on-one, who is dominating that conversation? It's typically not even exchange where if there was an hour meeting, you watch the entire hour, it's 50-50. It's usually never that way. It's usually someone 90% of the time talking and talking and talking, and someone doing their darndest to be patient to listen to them. So let's even the odds out a little bit better here. And let's talk about what we can do to listen better with great questions. Questions to me engage the mind. We will do future YouTube episode on the power of questions because they guide the world. And to me, the better questions solve bigger problems. Okay, we're gonna talk about solutions and positivity here. Again, if I'm wearing a hope dealer shirt, we're not gonna talk about doom and gloom. You can find a million other channels that scare you, a million other thumbnails that are about doom and gloom and clickbait. We're not gonna play there. That's easy. What's hard is being optimistic in a world that's negative, where people are damn selfish. You might want to make a note of this. I'm not a hypocrite here. We're all selfish. We're selfish with our time, our attention, our focus. But today, I want you to release that selfishness that's built into your DNA and say, look, if I let go a little bit and I make the conversations more about the other person, a whole new world of possibility opens up for you, my friend. Okay. So questions to me is the first way to get people to communicate with you, to have a great dialogue. Secondly, When you're in a good conversation, you don't always have to write everything down, but if someone recommends a book to you, a resource, it's good to have a pen and paper handy because you can write that down. Or you can say, hey, hold on, let me put that in my phone. Or hey, will you do me a favor? Will you send me a link right now? I do this a lot because you leave that coffee meeting, for example, you forget what they told you. So many times I'll stop in a great conversation, if it's business or casual with a friend or a family member, and they say, hey, there's a great movie, there's a great series, or there's a great, audio you got to check out. Will you send it to me right now? And they'll sometimes stop, and I can tell they don't want to stop talking about, hey, just real quick, I'll let you come back to it. Send it to me right now so I don't forget if I don't have a pen handy. Or many times I'll say, hold on, I'll grab a pen and I'll write it down. And I'll put it on my notes and I'll resume the conversation. Here's what it also telegraphs. You're listening. You actually care what they're saying because you want them to follow up so you don't forget. We're all human. And what we've hammered home in all these episodes, it's threaded through the entire channel here, is the problem of focus and attention because our minds are like worn down batteries by the end of the day. It's like Mount Everest. If you're on your phone already scrolling, the amount of intake you're getting is like climbing a digital Mount Everest 3 times in one day. I know it's a strange visual, but think of all the stimulation dopamine that's coming at you. You hit a feed for an hour or two. I haven't tracked the numbers. It's got to be thousands of impressions. Your brain is like, whoa, stop the train, my friend. So our mental bandwidth is tapped out for most of us in the Western democracies that have access to social media in particular. Write things down. It also lets that person you're engaged with on a Zoom call or in this example, face-to-face in coffee, know that you are really listening to them. Third opportunity to listen better is ask for clarification. I talk really fast. Sometimes I will slow things down about a third speed because I have to say, I didn't quite get that. Can you tell me that again? That is genuine. It's real. It lets them know I care about you, that I don't want to miss what you said. It's really hard because many times in conversations, I've did this for almost 50 years, I get just as excited. I get pulled in. I want to jump in. I want to answer before they're done talking. I still sometimes do this. But teaching listening now around the world and writing about the last couple of years, it's made me much more aware that, hey, Tony, you need to stop, really take a deep breath and let them tell you how they can help you or what they're looking for, particularly in a business situation with a prospective client or a current client. Shut your mouth, Tony. Humble yourself and truly listen to what they're trying to say to you. Okay. It's also watching body language. Are they fidgety? Are they looking down? We will do a future episode about body language, how to read someone in under 10 seconds. Yes, when I'm in front of 500 people, I have to be able to read that room. I have to read the front row, the person to the left, the person in aisle 7, the person in the corner, and the person in the back folding their arms. I can't get too into my head, but I have to know it's a survival mechanism as cavemen. Is fight or flight going on? Are they engaged? Are they tuned out? Are they on their phone? Totally bored? Are they moved in? Are they moved out? Arms crossed? Are they gestured in? I've learned this after 22 years as a paid professional speaker, how to read a room. And to me, it's very easy one-to-one. That's child's play to me. And it's not being arrogant, but if you could read body language, you can tell if people are truly engaged when you're listening, they're bluffing you or they're lying. Okay, there are a lot of other YouTube channels about a lot of these ex-CIA guys and gals talking about body language. I'm going to bring my spin in a future episode here about positive body language and how to open someone up, not to manipulate, but to draw a good, healthy, real conversation out of them. Okay. Also, when you're actively listening to someone, they're stunned. To me, that's one of the highest gifts you can give besides attention, is truly listen to somebody. And the fifth thing is do your best when you're listening to somebody on a Zoom call, face-to-face, on a phone call, to remove the distraction. We got trained during COVID for those 2 years when we were shut down to be on a Zoom or a screen or on FaceTime or video. And we got real good at having our house, our kids run around, people walking around naked in the background. This was happening, or being like, hey, I got a shirt and tie on there, but I got shorts on below or sweatpants. We were used to having distraction around us. Now that the world's opened up the past few years, people are still like, well, I'm really busy or I can't focus. So many times you're trying to keep up with their mental circus. And if you can remove distraction out of your own realm, you have a much better chance at keeping up with their realm. Okay. And I think a sixth point is what is the intent when you're meeting with someone to listen to them? Do you ask them this question sometimes? I've done this with friends. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Do you want me just to to listen. Do you want my advice? Tell me what you need from me today. And many times I say, look, Tony, I just need you to listen. And it's difficult because I want to coach, I want to solve, I want to help. It's built into my DNA. And someone's like, hey, stop coaching me. I've had this with partners with my own kids, like, Dad, stop going coach mode. Don't fix it. I need to figure it out. I need you to listen. You can ask my kids if they jumped in the background here, or they hologrammed in. Yep. We tell Dad sometimes, Dad, we just need you to listen, because I love to help people. But oftentimes the last form of help I can give them is interrupting them. The best form of help is just to shut up and listen. So I hope this episode has reminded you of things that you're doing well, maybe things you've forgotten. Maybe there's a nugget or two that if you get done watching this right now, you're going into a meeting, you say, no, I just want to have a few great questions. I'm going to remove my phone, shut it off, remove the distractions. I'm going to sit and focus on them. I'm going to read their body language, maybe ask them, hey, do you want me to listen, or do you want my advice? Tell me how you want this thing to roll. And you'll be stunned at how amazing those conversations will go, because you're one of the few humans that says, hey, it's not always about me. It's about you too. And let me leave you with a quote from the late, great Mary Kay Ash. She said this many, many decades ago. She said, I want you to imagine people are walking around with an invisible sign on their neck that says, please appreciate me. In today's modern AI sped up 7-8 second attention span world, the more you can truly remove your ego, engage, listen, and really focus on someone else, you will remove that sign. They'll go, oh my God, this is a person that actually cares about me. They're listening. And that to me is a valuable gift you can give to anybody. So until next time, hit the subscription button here, subscribe, drop comments in. I'd love to hear some of your best listening techniques. We'll add them into the repertoire as the collective hive mind. All these positive people that are tuning in, we'll keep spreading it. If you like this episode, please like again, subscribe, and share it with somebody else that might need to listen to the message. Take care.